Welcome to part 2 of a 3-part video series on how to become a course provider for the Texas Virtual School Network. Part 2 focuses on applying to become a TxVSN provider and submitting courses for review. Before applying to become a provider, it is recommended that potential providers read through the TxVSN Policies and Procedures Manual, the TxVSN Provider Agreement, and the Course Review Information area on the TxVSN website. Information for providers can be found under the Schools and Districts tab on the website menu bar. The first step to becoming a provider is to download and fill out our provider application form from the TxVSN website. And again, that form is available on our website in the Providers area under the Schools and Districts tab. After your application has been submitted, you will be notified that it was received from Central Operations. They will contact you if any additional information is needed on your application. If you need help or directions on how to fill out or access the provider application form, you can contact them either via email or the number listed below. After Central Operations has received your application form and notified that it has been received and it is filled out completely, the Texas Education Agency will also be notified that you are planning to submit courses to be reviewed. They will also approve your courses you plan to submit before the actual course review process can begin. TEA has certain courses that are priorities for the Texas Virtual School Network. These include high school courses needed for graduation, AP courses, and foreign language courses. We do accept all courses, however, these are the ones that do receive priority for approval to be reviewed and included in the catalog. Once Central Operations has approved your application and the go-ahead is given from TEA, then the course review submission process may begin. You will be given a login to our electronic course submission system, or ECSS. This is where all of your documents will be uploaded to review your course. Once all required documents are submitted and Central Operations has notified Course Review that the course has been approved to be reviewed, the provider must prepare the course to be reviewed. The documents that will be needed to be uploaded to the ECSS include the course submission form, which is the general information about your course, such as the course title, and it will need to have a current PEIMS number listed there as well. The course access form with a working URL and login credentials for our reviewers, a completed TEKS correlation document that tells our reviewers where all of the TEKS are addressed in your course, a course questionnaire form which gives us some behind-the-scenes information about your course, a copy of the course syllabus, and if it's an AP course, we will need a copy of the College Board approval letter and the syllabus. And if you're submitting a science course, we will need an additional form, the Science Field and Laboratory Investigations document, to help evidence that your course meets the 40% hands-on science requirement. All of these documents can be found on our website. This is normally where I would ask for general questions in this portion of the presentation. However, since this is a recording, I have collected some of the most common questions asked about submitting courses to be reviewed and applying to become a provider. The first question that we get is, can I submit my Algebra 1A course to be reviewed while I'm working on finishing my Algebra 1B course? The answer is no. Since we are looking for 100% TEKS alignment, we need the full year course to be submitted at one time. So if you have one semester ready, please make sure that you have both semesters ready before you actually submit the course. Second question, what level of course access should the reviewers have to review my course? Student, teacher, administrator? Our reviewers will need full access to all of the content, exams, assessments, background information, resources, in order to fully and accurately review your course. So please allow them to have probably instructor or facilitator access to your course so that they can actually get in and see what they need to see. Next question, how much does it cost me to have one of my courses reviewed? Your course is reviewed completely at no cost to you. The state funds the review of your course. However, we do expect you to make the modifications we ask of you if they are needed after our course review process is complete. Is there a window or timeline in which I have to submit my courses? Is there a deadline that must be followed in order to get a course approved and in the catalog by a certain semester? We review courses constantly throughout the year, so you may submit your courses at any time throughout the year. You may submit them all at once if you have more than one course that you want to submit, or you could submit them one at a time as long as the course is complete. We pretty much have a revolving door policy as far as when our courses can be reviewed. There is no deadline that must be followed in order to get a course approved and in a catalog by a certain semester. However, we do require that if you are wanting a course to be included by a certain semester, that you do submit it at least in enough time for us to be able to complete the review and get your information back to you in an adequate amount of time so that you can make required modifications. Next question, is there a list of courses that TxVSN needs that I should try to submit, or can I submit any course that I would like to have in the TxVSN catalog? We do have a priority list. However, we accept all high school courses and dual credit courses as long as they can be offered for state credit. We don't accept courses that are only offered for local credit because we're going to be servicing students across the state and they will be needing to get state credit. Okay, oftentimes with our science courses, we have courses that have virtual labs because of the lab safety issues and the hands-on requirement. And we're often asked if those labs are sufficient. We do encourage having virtual labs in all of our science courses. However, we still do have the 40% hands-on requirement that is stated by the state of Texas for all science courses, and those virtual labs do not count towards that 40% hands-on requirement. So we don't discourage you having them, but you do need to supplement them with actual hands-on activities. Okay, the next question has to do with third-party vendors, and oftentimes we have third-party companies who partner with districts to provide online courses, and oftentimes those courses have already been approved and submitted by a provider district in the past. And the question often comes up is, if I have a course from XYZ company that builds courses and they say that it has already been approved by TxVSN, but you would like to offer that same course as a provider through TxVSN, can you do that? Yes, you can, and we have a very specific process for those types of situations, and that information can be found on our website as well. But do know that it is an option for you to submit courses and have them into the catalog even if they've already been approved for another provider. Okay. Alright, the next question, do I have to fill out one questionnaire for every course I submit, or can I use the same answers if they apply to all my courses I am submitting? Yes, you do have to fill out a questionnaire for every course you submit. However, you can cut and paste the same answers into each questionnaire. The way our system is set up with the electronic course submission system is that we have to have a questionnaire for each and every course that is submitted. But oftentimes with providers, the questions can be duplicated because they apply to the provider themselves. Alright, the next question. I am a teacher and I'm building my own course in my own time. Can I submit my course to the TxVSN for review and offer it myself in the network? Unfortunately, no. We require that all of our providers are either an independent school district, an open enrollment charter school, an institution of higher education, or an education service center. We do not allow teachers to individually submit courses to have them in the catalog. They must be partnered with one of those approved providers. Okay, well those are just some of the most common questions that we receive from our participants. But if I didn't answer your question and you still have questions or concerns, please feel free to contact Central Operations if you have any questions about submitting or becoming a provider, and they can be contacted at this email address or this number below. And if you have any questions specific to course review, you can contact us at this email address or this phone number below. Thank you so much for watching part 2 of how to become a TxVSN provider. Please proceed to the last part, part 3, the course review process.